Two. And setting up, setting up, setting up. And let me come back to you. Setting up, setting up, setting up. Right, beautiful ones. Welcome. This is Dr. Akua with A Life of Peace Wellness Institute, and welcome to another night of the mark, the impact, and the legacy of a life of peace at 20 years young. I'm going to say 20 years young. So, we've been talking the last few nights and getting to know some of the patrons as well as the students, some of the naturopathic doctors that we have worked with throughout the years of A Life of Peace. And tonight we have someone that we're going to talk to about the specializations of naturopathy and what that actually looks like. So we have with us tonight Miss Lakeitha Anderson, and she has been on a very long journey with a life of peace. I've seen this young lady flourish from humble beginnings to where she is now as an international therapist. And I am very proud to welcome you, Lakeitha. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. How are you?
I am doing amazing. Peace and blessings all the way from Cape Town, South Africa. Sawaba.
Yes. Wonderful. Absolutely. So, what I wanted to talk with you tonight is you have found a very unique niche, as we say, in naturopathy and the way that you've handled the wellness learning that you've been through during your time with the life of peace and beyond. And I just want us to take us through a journey because you chose a very unique concept that is really what I would consider eternal. You know, we're always going to need to keep our bodies clean. I'm trying not to give you away yet. We're always going to need to keep our bodies clean to make sure that we're clean on the outside as well as the inside, and how profound an impact of the cleansing processes that we have to go through from a holistic point of view. So that cleansing involves cleansing the mind, cleansing the body, cleansing the emotions, and also cleansing the spiritual aspect of ourselves. So now I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Lakeitha Anderson is the world renowned, I'm going to call it world renowned,
To existence, Dr.
detox
Akua.
therapist. She is the world renowned detox therapist. Now, those two words put together are near and dear to my heart because I actually wrote a book called The Detox Therapist. So, what I'd like you to do, Lakeitha, in honor of this 20 years, and I know that you've been with a life of peace for at least a decade, um, is to take us on a journey through this designation of you becoming the detox therapist and how a life of peace was a part of that influence for you.
Oh my goodness. There's so much to unpack here, but I won't take up much of your time and the audience time. First of all, let me just again congratulate you on 20 years, Dr. Akua. You're sitting over there looking like a 20-year-old yourself, honey. Just skin is glistening, every just
Thank
glowing,
you.
which
Thank
is
you.
probably one of the biggest indicators of going through detox therapy and being clean from the inside out, right?
Yes.
So you look absolutely stunning. I am just humbled to be a divine reflection of you. And I want to
Oh,
quote my dear
listen.
sister, want to quote my dear sister the other night when she said, if we looked in the dictionary and looked under a life of peace, your beautiful face will be there. That's what Kelly
Oh,
said the other night. So we are all of us that have been in connection with you. I think we all can say that we strive to have the level of peace that you have because I know dealing with me over the last 10 years, Dr. Akua, you're a good one and you have we won't tell all our business, but let me tell you, you have really, in my opinion, and what A Life of Peace has done for me, has laid the foundation and the example of what living a life of peace is all about. It's not a destination, number one. So you don't just get to a point and all is well. It is truly a journey. And I want to publicly thank you for being on this journey with me through its ebbs and many flows. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, what started, I think, for me was I think it started with Sacred Goddess Temple. So, we're going to go all the way back. I joined A Life of Peace in 2016 as a student of the Natural Health and Wellness Certification Program. But in the middle of that, I went through the Sacred Goddess Temple rites of passage. And I think that's when the doors really opened for me. And I began to realize that I'm not what they called OCD or crazy or anything like that, because even during that time, I was taking certain precautionary measures just through learning from other, like Dr. Laela Africa, Queen Afua, and then some of the others that have gone before, some of our ancestors, about the importance of what we put on our skin that is just as important as, whatever you're doing internally. So I think when I went through Sacred Goddess Temple and even just learning about how we keep our homes and how important all of that is, I think that was the seed that was planted for me in terms of that being the route that I would eventually take, right? And so as we moved along, and I'm learning that my journey is just a continual process. I think it was in 2020, maybe 2018, before I traveled, I came across Dr. Bobby Price, and I started with his detox. And what I went through in that process was just so astonishing. And it brought back all the things that I learned in my naturopathic certification with you, is how things come through the skin, how, not just what you put in your body, but what you put on your body is also a reflection of that. And so after going through the first detox and seeing how I thought, I'm like, okay, what is really going on? Like my skin was breaking out, things were just coming up and out of me. It just, planted that seed that I think this is something that in not only naturopathy, but also I think in Western medicine, there's just not a lot of attention to that particular area. So I made it my life journey. Like for the last 6 years, I detox every 3 months. And I started a group of people detoxing and just hearing the testimonies and hearing how people were having such amazing results. And I'm talking about those that were on medications and taking different pharmaceutical drugs and how they were able to come off of it. I just knew, yeah, this is probably what I should do. And more importantly, because I live it, right? Like I live that. Like I don't put anything on my skin if I can't pronounce it, eat it, or recognize it in its original state. I detox every 3 months in some shape, form, or fashion. Listen, I'm in South Africa. I have my friends like bringing my detox stuff with me, right? Or bringing it with them whenever they come visit. That's how committed
yes.
I am to the lifestyle, but just understanding how important it is for anyone who is on a health journey or just wanting to, change your oil, okay? Get a tune up, change the battery is so important. And I think it's probably one of the most important tenets of what we do in the naturopathic space. We can provide all types of therapies, we can give advice, but if the person isn't getting rid of what is calling or causing the diseases, then we're just kind of layering on top of the actual issue. So,
Okay. Now, that term, detox therapist, I remember when you first told me about being the detox therapist. So,
yes.
can you expand a little bit about your influence in the detox, the Life of Peace influence in the realm of you becoming the detox therapist?
So again, I take it back to when I just learned the importance of bringing things out. And this was all in my initial training, my initial certification. I'm also currently enrolled in the mastery program. And so just learning again about and experiencing it as well. So it's not just learning because we can learn all day long, but I actually experienced the things that a life of peace has taught me about making sure that not only your home is you take your home through a level of detoxification, but just the importance of your lifestyle being that way. And so through my training, taking the detox therapist course, of course, a couple of times, learning about nutrition, learning about just how to identify diseases and helping clients with that. I've learned all of that through a life of peace. And just living it. I think that's the most important thing, Dr. Akua, is just living what I've learned and applying it to myself, right? Like, I don't think I can go and work in, a drug facility because I've never really been on any type of drugs or anything like that. So I would know how to personalize it. And because of what I've also learned through a life of peace is that, again, it's not just about identifying something that's physically out of alignment. It's more importantly about what is emotionally out of alignment, physically, spiritually out of alignment, mentally out of alignment. And if I can give just a quick testimony, even to your influence and what a life of peace has done for me in the detox area, just here a couple of weeks ago, I think I reached out to you because I was just, having a bit of a struggle with some things that were happening back home. And in your usual fashion, you calmly said, yes, yes, beautiful one. I think that would be a good way to go. But also, I want you to tap into the energy skills that you've learned from us and send that to the issue that's happening back home. I said, okay, that's Dr. Akua. She's not going to give me the solution. She's going to give me the pathway and the way because you believe in me. You've always told me, Lakeitha, I think you have what you need. You just need to move into it, right? And so I was feeling stuck. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if I have the right energy. So I took it upon myself again because there are times when the healer needs healing, right? And so I went through an emotional detox session with a naturopathic doctor here in Cape Town. She actually is a licensed medical doctor, but at the height of COVID, she transitioned over to naturopathy. And so, yes, she is absolutely amazing. So I went through an emotional detox session with her. I've never had that done before on myself directly. But I took that initiative to do it because, again, understanding through everything I've learned with the life of peace that it does start with me, right? And going through it myself, I can then release that healing energy that I need to send to anyone else. So I went through that a couple of weeks ago and got the most wonderful testimony from what I thought was an issue back home. It was just, I was so elated, Dr. Akua, and it just renewed not only my faith, but it renewed just what I have inside of me and what I've learned over the last 10 years, right? So that's one true, real evidence that just happened about 2 weeks ago of the influence that a life of peace has had on that particular process and what it means to me. And again, through my own personal experience, I'll know how to tap into others and help them detox as well.
So, in terms of your legacy as
Yes,
a healer, wherever you go, because you've been many places,
yes.
what do you see as a part of what you're moving into for the future? What can we look for from you in terms of the detox therapist?
You know, it's interesting. Excuse me. It's real interesting because there are two areas that I really want to focus on. First of all, it has never left my head when you planted another seed into all of the students 10 years ago when I started. You said the goal of a life of peace is to place a healer in every home. That has always stuck with me. And even learning that in the sacred goddess temple, right? So the detox therapy side of what I want to do is probably working with those that are already either in some level of disease and helping them come back into alignment, or again, those of us who live, or attempt, our intentions are to live a pretty, um, life of peace, if you will, because that word peace encompasses a lot of things, right? Um, and so, but we still have the obligation and the need to detox. So working with those individuals, but most importantly, I want to work with young girls. That is something that has been with me for a very long time. When I came across Queen Afua and yourself, it was later on in my life. And so I had to go through many things in order to even come into that awareness. So if I'm able to work with teenage girls and, guide them on the importance of living a life of peace, living a life of alignment, and just, going through some of the things that I didn't, that I went through, right? Like learning about womb wellness. That is so important. That's another important part of what I want to do. And detoxing is a part of that, especially for women, because we don't understand and, often understand that a lot of the things that we have going on in our wombs are attached to things that need to be moved, removed, realigned, and all of that. And that can come through detox therapy. So, my legacy that I want to leave first and foremost is that I lived or attempted to live the lifestyle that I talk to all my family and my friends about. I tell them all the time, I said, because I will be, all praises to the Most High and His willing, I'll be turning 57 next month. And I know,
Look
and
at 20.
57, Dr. Akua.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for that, having lived this long without taking any medications for anything. That is a blessing. I wake up every day just so grateful that I have access to one of the most powerful, free access to one of the, or two of the most powerful medicines, and that's the sun and the water. I have free access to that. Okay. And I'm able to breathe in clean air and eat clean food that expires within days. Like I am so incredibly grateful for the little things, right? So I want my legacy to be that no matter what I did in this lifetime, I made an attempt, first of all, to live the life that I talk about, live the life and be an example of what I try to impart into my family, into my friends, my community. And if I can raise up other young girls to do the same, because what I learned in Sacred Goddess Temple is that number one, that kitchen is your domain. You have basically the power of your family, your husband, your children, in what you feed them, in the home that you give them to live in. All of that matters. And I think we've lost that in our community a little bit. Like we don't really focus on raising up young girls to be healers because that's what I grew up on. My grandmother, my dad's mom, she had a garden in the back. And even though I don't like okra, now I know why they were eating a lot of okra back in the day. I get it, Grandma. I get it. Okay. Look, Dr. Akua, if you know, you know, right?
Right.
But I'm sorry. Dr. Akua knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I had that example. And then my mom, I will say my mother, she was a big part as well because she is into all natural things and juicing. She bought me my first juicer, okay? And yeah, got me started on juicing and all of that. So I've had staples in my life of women who were living examples of all things natural. Like now I use castor oil on everything. I don't care what it is. Something rises up on my arm. Oh, let me go get my tea tree and castor oil. But my grandmother castor oil. We had castor oil for everything, no matter what was going on with you. My friends here in South Africa, they laugh at me if I hear somebody coughing. I'm like, hey, you need some oil of oregano, or or as my South African
Yes.
friend says, oil of oregano. Yes, that too. We'll take that too. And so, I that's what I want my legacy to be. My son already knows that, if when and if it's my time, the goal is to grow old gracefully, right? That's the goal.
Yes.
But when it's my time, I want it to be said that, you know what, Lakeitha lived, I want to look like the life I lived. How about that?
Yes.
Okay. When it's that time, I want to look like the life I lived. And hopefully that's beautiful, glowing, at peace, all of that. I want to look like all of that.
Well, you are well on your way,
Thank you, Dr. Akua.
Lakeitha.
I
Thank you
owe a lot to you.
so, oh, receive. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your morning
Yes.
to come and be with us. We truly, truly appreciate you. Now, if someone is in the South African area, are you actually taking clients now?
That's another thing that you've taught me. You've like, Lakeitha, just do it. Okay. This is an area that, yes, let me just say I have all the tools, I have all the knowledge, I have all the skills to take clients. Let me just say that. But I do try to walk in a way that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I don't do
Yes.
Okay. I don't do
Yes.
a lot of advertising. I don't do a lot of, because me and that social media thing, we got a love-hate relationship. But I will take clients. I have all the tools to be able to do that. And so yes, the answer is yes. So whenever the student
Okay.
is ready, I will be here.
Wonderful. So, if someone wanted to reach out,
Mhm.
how would they be able to contact you?
So I am on social media on Instagram as the Detox Therapist. Okay, so
Yeah.
they can reach me
Okay.
there. And then my email address is andersonlakeitha@gmail.com. But if they send me a notification on Instagram, I can accept their notification and then go ahead and move from there. So the
Okay.
Detox Therapist.
Received.
Yes,
Received. Okay. That's the Detox Therapist on IG,
yes.
Instagram.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, beautiful ones. Thank you all very much for coming in and sharing with us. I do not see any comments here or questions that we have to take a look at. So we're going to call it a night. Again,
Okay.
thank you so much for coming in and being with us. We love you and we hope to continue to grow together in terms of creating those healers, every a healer for every home. And you are right on point, Lakeitha, when you say we've got to touch those young women, we've got to touch those young men, because now it's their time to start learning what has kept Generation X looking the way we look, feeling the way we feel, and knowing what it is that we know. Okay, because we are not our grandmothers at
Nope, we
all.
are not. Look, we give thanks for them, and but listen, they ran so that we could walk in peace. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. All right, beautiful ones, you all please join me again tomorrow night as we celebrate through the mark, the impact, and the legacy of a life of peace at 20 years. And we'll be talking with hold on. Oh, I thought I had the name of who we'll be talking with tomorrow. Oh, it's Kathy Ann Ellison. That's who
Oh,
we'll be talking with tomorrow. So come and chat with another longtime healer in the community. And we hope to see you all tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on our YouTube live channel. Peace and blessings.
the blessings.